Hey, what's up guys? So in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre game was revealed about two weeks ago at the Game Awards, and I'm like really excited for it. They honestly haven't revealed much of the game at all, or even like really how it plays, but I'll be going through everything we know so far about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. I know there's a couple of other creators who have made the same type of video, but there's a few things I've learned by looking through the subreddit the devs made that I haven't seen anyone comment on, and I'll let you guys know what those are. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is being developed by Gun Interactive and Sumo Digital. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that, but we know the game is based off of the 1974 film of the same name. Characters such as Leatherface, the Cook, and the Hitchhiker are already confirmed to be playable in the game, with Gunn saying they are creating more characters for the game with help from Kim Henkel. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but he made the ideas for the characters in the 1974 film. So if you look in the poster of the game, you'll see the Cook and the Hitchhiker are both there with Leatherface. In a match, Gunn has said that there will be more than one killer, which I think is really interesting, and I cannot wait to see how that plays out. So that's basically everything we know so far that they've revealed, but now I'll be going through tweets and mostly posts in the subreddits where they reply to people's questions, because there's a lot of information in there that I haven't really seen anybody talk about on YouTube so far. Or maybe I just missed it, I don't know. But the background gameplay is Friday the 13th, which I love. And I remember backing the game on Kickstarter years ago. And I have a Savini Jason, but that's on my Xbox account. I'm playing on my PlayStation account right now, which I just bought the game because Xbox will not let me record stuff, so I have to play on my PlayStation 5. But yeah, so let's get into it. So I just firstly want to say before we start that I'm sorry my mic quality isn't the best. But I'm just going to be going through, like I said, the whole subreddit in like one or two tweets, because there's a lot of information. So the first one I'm going to start out with, I haven't seen anybody talk about this or anything. The first one, so somebody said, this is in the subreddit, how big will the map be, or maps be, and what will be the boundary? And Matt from Gunn replied and said, all news of this aspect will come at a later date, as we are very proud of the maps we've got and want to share them when the time is right, but thank you for the feedback. So if you caught that, he said maps, so there's multiple maps that's going to be there on launch, which I'm really excited for. I was worried that there was only going to be one map, but they said they can't share much details, but they did say maps, which I'm excited for. So next, somebody asked, will there be crossplay? And Matt said, feedback heard loud and clear. He said, I'll pass it to the team, and he said they're interested in crossplay. Whether or not that happens at launch or post-launch or what have you is something the team is considering. So crossplay is most likely on the table, and they're really discussing it right now. Next, someone said, are we going to be able to play the characters from the original film, like Sally, Franklin, that was the guy in the wheelchair, Pam, because I heard a dev say it takes place a couple months prior to the original, but I really hope we can play the movie characters, because I need Sally. Matt said, it does take place in the months leading up to the 74 film, and the team is creating an original cast of characters in partnership with Kim Henkel, which I've said earlier. And somebody said, well, will the characters that in the game, will they be lookalikes? So will there be like a lookalike of Franklin, just like how there was in Friday the 13th? And he said no, a cast with their own story and paths to the Slaughter family, so they're going to make their own original characters for the game, which I'm really excited about, because I love the characters from Friday the 13th. So then the person said, oh my god, that's so cool. So the characters will have their own backstories and like information, unlike Friday the 13th. Are you guys going to create 10 characters initially like Friday the 13th had? Matt said, we cannot share details on the characters or counts of the characters just yet, but I can say, yes, they have a brief backstory attached to how they ended up there, and I have to leave it at that for now. So basically, the characters are going to have all their own backstories of how they got there, which I think is really cool. I'd rather have that than being able to like customize your characters. But it'd be nice if we could get like cameos from other characters. So next, somebody said, just a quick question, but will my favorite Sawyer be playable, that being the cook / Drayton? I mean, well, Matt said, I mean, he is in the main artwork. So, yeah, there you go. The cook will be playable. So, this person said, will there be any exclusive content like the Savini Jason skin from Friday the 13th? And Matt said, well, it's too early to talk specifics on content and items. There is no Kickstarter or other crowdfunding for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. This is an important distinction since the exclusivity of an item when awarded as a backer reward is something that should be upheld. That was always the stance at Gun. People who backed at that tier deserved that to remain exclusive. With no crowdfunding, there is no backer specific tier exclusivity to protect. So basically, there's not going to be an exclusive Leatherface or Cook or Hitchhiker skin because you can't back the game. So yeah, there's not going to be that. And after that, they said the game will nothing in the game will be an exclusive, so nobody can get locked out. So it'll keep the player base together, which I think is really, really cool. But I still wish there was some kind of Savini, Jason kind of thing. Next, this is really cool too. I was hoping for this. Somebody said, will this game get played third person or first person? And Matt said the game will be third person, which I am really excited for. I was really hoping this game wasn't first person. I'm just really excited for that. So, this person said, can we choose to be killer, or is it like Friday the 13th where it's randomly chosen? And Matt said, lobby mechanics and further details on matchmaking will be incoming in due time, but I can say that it is a team-based game and players choose their character. It's also important to note here that only one of each available character will appear in each match, no duplicates. So basically, just one character per match. You cannot have duplicates, so you won't be able to do, like, for example, 2 Tiffany's from Friday the 13th. And somebody said, does that go for victims as well, or just killers with the duplicate thing? And they said duplicate, victims too. So yeah, there can't be multiple Leatherfaces, multiple Cooks, or multiple survivors in the game. Then somebody said, okay, so like if someone takes the character I like, I can't do nothing about it. Like, how does that work? For example, on F13 I wanted to be Chad, but somebody was already being him. I can't be him, then like, how do we pick our character before entering the match? Matt said, we are still not at the point to share all the specifics on that aspect. I can say though that characters are built to serve a purpose in team makeup, and that combined with the metagame will mean that having duplicate characters would not only break the story-like experience, it would create too many imbalances within the gameplay. More on all of this later. So yeah. So next. Somebody said, since this game is going to have all the family in one, will we control them or is someone else playing as the other family? They said it's a team-based game with player-controlled victims and family. So there's going to be no AI, it's going to be all player-controlled, which I'm really excited for. I was hoping that there's going to be no AI. So, next. Somebody said, I'm pretty sure somebody said this, but will other Sawyers from other movies in the franchise like Chop Top and such have appearances in this game, even though it takes place before the first movie? Matt said, while our game takes place in the months leading up to the original 1974 film, anything is possible, long term. For posts like this, it's best to hear from the community on what their personal favorites are from the entire franchise. So basically, nothing's impossible. If we like build the hype enough for, let's just say, the 2003 remake film, if we want that skin, keep talking about it, keep building the hype, and maybe it could happen. And this is a big one right here. So, they tweeted this on Twitter. While we have not yet shared our full plans, we can confirm that the game will not be playable on previous generation consoles such as Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. So yeah, the game will not be on previous gen consoles. It'll be on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S. Which I understand why, but I kind of feel bad for people who don't have the new consoles, since they're really like hard to get. But they did say that they're going to be watching how the next gen consoles are like coming along. So maybe there's a chance. It could be, but I'm not sure. Next, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game going to have those brutal grab kills like F13 had? And Matt said, all I can say at this time is that the manner in which killers kill is uniquely specific to the killer. With Gunn's focus on authenticity, we appreciate this fact and try to work within it. With Jason Voorhees, you had lots of grabs and such in the film canon, so that was what we worked with there. So basically, I don't know. I don't know how the kills are going to be. I don't know if it's going to be more like DBD, where you have to put them up on hooks, and then you can kill them afterwards, which I hope that's not how it goes. But they're staying true to what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, and I like that. So, next, skins and monetization. I know F13 the game had skins and kill packs, and I hope that they carry on to this game. I would hate to see new characters and maps locked behind a paywall. I know skins and battle passes are a way for games to make money, and I really hope this game steers clear of toxic and greedy microtransactions. Also, loot boxes should stay away, and mystery packs like what R6 has. This one's a pretty long one, so sorry about that. But Matt said, this is a great topic but requires precision wording because phrases like locked behind a paywall are tricky. There's two things that could mean. Do you intend to say you want all the DLC available to be free, or simply that you do not want people who purchase the DLC to be separated from those who don't? Because one thing I can say completely is that it is not in the interest of Gunn to ever separate our player base or community based on which DLC they choose to own, if any. Which that is amazing. I love that. I'd buy all the DLC anyway, but even then, if someone doesn't buy the DLC, if a big group doesn't, it just splits the community. Often in game development, post-launch content is what fuels post-launch content, and the cycle continues. So in that respect, the continual existence of the title is somewhat reliant on that income. How that DLC is distributed or sold, and what effect it has on the overall experience is where the debate really is. Clear purchase options, content that does not split the player base, and content that does not create imbalance in the outcome of a match are all examples of ways content can be delivered in the most user-friendly manner. So yeah. So next. This person said, would love to see a feature for us to create our own characters in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. If they don't go with the stats option for characters, they should totally do this. And Matt replied and said, I don't want to run the risk of spoiling too much just yet. Sorry. Which is why I didn't immediately comment here. But let me just say that custom created characters have a personal feel to the player that makes it difficult for them to feel like they are a part of the story in any way in a multiplayer title. In order to introduce elements of lore to our characters, we have created them once again like we did with F13. More on the story elements and the metagame stats and builds later. Which I understand, and I really like that. I'd rather have not fleshed out characters, but characters like how they were in Friday the 13th. They were all unique, which I loved. So next, this is just a pretty random and funny one, but I just decided to include it. So this question is, will there be chickens in the game? Hopefully there will be Leatherface's caged chickens in the house. And Matt replied, chickens? We got chickens. So, confirmed chickens in the house. So next, somebody asked about what engine they're going to be on, and if they're going to be on Unreal Engine 5. Basically, they're going to stick to Unreal Engine 4, because Unreal Engine 5 is really fresh and not many developers know how to use it yet. In Unreal Engine 4, it's easier, it's going to make everything go faster, and games still look really good on Unreal Engine 4, so there's nothing to complain about there. Next up is dedicated servers. So someone asked, I only ask for one thing at launch. Dedicated servers, please. Matt said, done. Wish all requests were that easy. So, that's a good thing. Dedicated servers coming at launch. Can't complain about that. And that's all I have for everything on Reddit. So now I'll just go through a few just random things. So firstly, Kane Hodder, who did the motion capture for Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th the game, and he played him in a few of the movies, is doing the motion capture for this game. And he's played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, if I'm correct, but he was only a stuntman. So he does have some experience playing Leatherface, and I think he'll do really good. Actually, so yeah, that's really everything I've found from Reddit so far. And if I missed anything, I'm sorry. If I missed anything, just let me know, and I'll make another video letting everyone know about it. But the game does have some merch out right now, so you can order some merch, which is really cool. I might order some. So that's all I got. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day.